So, and I think the fear is like
Yeah.
I have had situations with coaches where I've found them to be undermining.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where the problem start. That's where there is that
Yeah.
problem. Like I've had coaches who give
Yeah.
legal advice, which they shouldn't
Yeah.
be doing.
No.
And then that's a problem. And
Yeah.
where like I've had like a high conflict file where a coach worked with a client to come up with a
Yeah.
proposal for something that was just like out in la land in terms of
Yeah. But
anything a
that can
judge would ever
happen.
accept.
Yeah. So that can happen when the client's not bringing the coach in with their lawyer, right? And so I can even think of a file like, I don't even know, I don't think you were on the file, but you were helping the same client I was working with. And I kept saying, like, if we don't all connect, I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm blind here. You and I are collaborating based on your interpretation of things, but it could be very different,
Yeah.
right? And so, where I find the dynamic is best suited is it's worth the time to have your coach sit in on the same meeting
Yeah.
with your counsel so that they can hear from counsel themselves what the directive is for you to do as the client so that we can support them
Yeah.
in that work that's not legal advice. But when a client calls with a combination of what they think or interpreted their lawyer to say with their own emotional reaction to that, it can be chaos for a coach because it's like the blind leading the blind, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in this situation where you haven't heard of timelines from counsel, you haven't got the help and support or heard it firsthand from counsel. And it can make a coaching job really, really difficult when that happens. And that's why I always say to the client, like, you might not want to have two professionals on one call together, but you really need it
Yeah.
if they're going to understand how to best support you with your counsel strategy,
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's really
right?
important for the lawyer and the coach to be on the same page with
Yeah,
things so that nobody's undermining,
yeah,
anybody and that there's a clear
yeah,
understanding of why something is being said or a certain position is, being taken or advocated or whatever, because sometimes clients
yeah,
don't, and I feel like, one of the challenges nowadays too is just we live in the information age where
yeah.
everyone Googles everything. Everyone now goes on to Chat GPT and, gets their legal advice. And as a lawyer, sometimes it can just be hard because you've got
Grossly
conversations,
inaccurate
family and
too.
friends, then you've got Google,
Yeah,
and now you've got Chat GPT all,
yeah.
giving them information. And like I
I've had
understand why they
clients
do it,
come
but
to me saying ChatGPT gave me this case, and this
it
case
doesn't
is nowhere to
exist.
be found on
Yeah.
Canly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are like, where are you getting this from? ChatGPT. But it didn't actually exist,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at some point,
right?
I think ChatGPT will get refined enough that it's not like making up cases, but it's definitely not there
Yeah,
yet. So,
it's
but
not there yet.
and I understand why people use it like for that. Like,
Yeah,
people, they don't want to have to call their lawyer to ask something and they're anxious about it and they want an answer. So you Google it or you go to ChatGPT, but it has its
it
challenge.
has a long way to go in that capacity because I've had some clients that they'll even use it for like communication with their ex and different things like that. But if they're not using it correctly and they're not giving their perspective or their input, it's just generalized. It's not correct. It's not factual or accurate,
Yeah.
right?